What I've been more drawn to is the women that pioneered the West, because this was a very rough place for people, but especially for women. Women that chose to be out here. There was very few of them at the time, and yeah, so a lot of those a lot of those ladies were working in gambling halls and dance halls and brothels, and some were bakers and cooks, and you know just made it a little bit more gentle and kind and friendly for the men around here.
Hello, and welcome to Story Power, a bi monthly podcast I created because I'm an unabashed story lover. Stories have had a huge impact on my life, starting with the family movie night discussions my parents instituted when I was a child. I want to share that love with you. As cognitive scientist Roger C. Shanks says, humans are not ideally set up to understand logic. They are ideally set up to understand stories. I'm making it my mission to not only spread the love of stories, but all the valuable things they teach us about human nature and relationships. We humans are emotional creatures, and stories help us examine our emotions from a comfortable distance. They also help us walk in the shoes of the characters to help us see the world in new ways. It's my hope you gain some valuable insights from my guests. Welcome, Story Power listeners. This is episode 135. I am talking to Kendra Leigh Highwater, who I met in Nevada City while my husband and I were on vacation. And she is a musician. And I'm just going to let you tell your story about why you write stories about the women in the gold rush, or stories about why you write music about women in the gold rush, and also maybe even just the gold rush in general. So I want to know that story, how you got into that particular little lane of your music.
Well, thanks for having me. I always love getting to talk about the gold rush history, even though there's always more that I can learn about. But I grew up in Nevada County, which was one of the most prosperous gold mining spots in California. And in Grass Valley, just over the hill, is Empire Mine State Park. And yeah, that mine was one of the most prosperous mines in California. And my little spiel about that is that mine was in operation for 106 years, from 1850 to 1956. And that mine goes down to 11,000 feet. And in that one mine alone, there's over 360 mining tunnels, which would be the same as like going from where I live all the way down to Disneyland, which is pretty far.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of random information I could give you about it. But what I've been more drawn to is the women that pioneered the West, because this was a very rough place for people, but especially for women. And women that chose to be out here. There was very few of them at the time, and yeah, so a lot of those a lot of those ladies were working in gambling halls and dance halls and brothels, and some were bakers and cooks, and you know just made it a little bit more gentle and kind and friendly for the men around here. But I think I'm drawn to those stories because those were wild and brave women to be out here. And yeah, I guess I do it better in song than just talking about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my songs is about the ladies that worked at the brothel in Nevada City, right across the street from where I work. One of the other ones I wrote recently is about a woman that was hung in Downeyville, and she was the only recorded woman to be hung in the state of California. And I just wrote another one about a woman from the gold rush in Colorado, and she was a dance hall girl, and I could tell you more about that. But a lot of these women's stories, there's not much known about them, and so I love just being able to give life to what remains of their stories. And when I do, and when I share it with people, it's so sweet to see how that affects the women I'm singing it for. And I
Mhm.
think that it's helps heal a part of our collective history as women. That's how I feel about that.
Yeah, right. So, I was going to ask about uh, you just started your band, and
Yeah.
you've been on the radio a couple of times. Uh,
Mhm.
and how do you find out about these women? How do you do research about them, or is there stuff already written about them? How do you find out about them?
Well, like I said, there's really not a whole lot that's written about the women. A lot of the stories that I have, like they don't even know what their names are. um, but there is a historical library in Nevada City that I like to visit,
Uh-huh.
and the old newspapers. But just seeing the photos of the women and getting to read their history that there was about them um, in in those books, I absolutely love going to the historical library. And then some of it's just from the feeling I get of this place because I grew up here and I've walked these streets since I was a kid, and I just feel like I get a sense of and looking around at the old buildings, what was this like for those ladies? What would it be like to
Mhm.
walk down the street with all those rowdy men? What would it be like um, to be walking through here with the dusty roads and um, yeah, I guess I just kind of feel like I'm living it a little bit.
Yeah, because
Living in these
people might not know that Nevada City, the buildings that are there are mostly from the Gold Rush era, right?
Yeah, the whole downtown of Nevada City is a National Historic Landmark, and
Hmm.
most of the buildings are from back in the 1800s. There was a number of times that fires swept through the town, and so they started building with brick. And there was a little bit of flooding a couple of times, and that wiped out some of the buildings near the creek. But yeah, a lot of these buildings have been around since the 1850s or 1860s.
Hmm.
And what else? Oh, yeah, Nevada City, it was the third largest city in California at the time. It was San Francisco, Sacramento, and Nevada City. And right now we only have about 3,000 plus people that live here. At Nevada City's prime, its height, there were 16,000 people here. And the ratio of men to women was 50 to 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You'd
They
have to
said
be a
that
brave
the ladies
woman.
would come in one at a time. Yeah. and yeah, and in some of the other mining camps, it would have been even a larger ratio. But here,
Yes.
this was a pretty bustling place and a place that people wanted to be. Um, but yeah, it's very, very few women living out here at the time.
Wow. Okay. Wow. So I think you want to play one of your songs. Why
Yeah.
don't you, yeah, why don't you do that and tell about it a little bit? And then we think we have the settings right
Okay.
for Zoom so we can hear your song.
Okay, great. So this song is called Promenade at the Old National, and it's about the women that worked at the brothel right across the street. From where I'm sitting right now. And I don't know how long it was a brothel for. And let me see. So I used to work at the hotel doing housekeeping and front desk, and I did the
Mhm.
overnights there when I first started there. So it
Mhm.
was nothing but me and whatever remains of the ghosts that are still there, hanging out in the middle of the night. And I wrote this song. I felt like I got a sense of like what it would be like to be a woman back then. But at some point, the miners have picked all the gold out of the hills, and they start moving on.
Mhm.
And these ladies are left here with the only job that they know and miss how they miss how lively things were and the hooting and hollering and making money too. And so that's what this song is about. Yeah, it's called Promenade at the Old National. I'm standing still at the old National Hotel, watching the snow fall to the ground. Within these walls I find a few lovers. They're just ghosts, they haunt me now. Step and forth, let me take your gems to the floor. Hold them tight before they're gone. Promenade your sorrows away. Who's gonna take you for a spin? Tears in your eyes. They all rushed in, those fevering 49ers. Looks like the gold from the hills. And when the whiskey had dried from their tin cups, they packed up their tents just as well. Do-si-do, till you can't do-si no more. Love won't wait for you to catch your breath. If you can't find a fella you fancy, doesn't mean you gotta sit out for the dance. California, I got a bone with you to pick. You make one man rich and all the others poorer than dirt. And you left me no partner to lead with, and no thread to mend my skirt. I wouldn't be so bitter if you caught those miners back here. I wouldn't be so cold if I had a man to hold. And we could hoot and holler down the halls like we used to at the old National Hotel.
Yeah, that was lovely. We had a little bit of glitchy, but I think it's good enough. Yeah. So because mostly it tells the story. And the Old National is a very famous hotel. Barry and I stayed there when we were in Nevada City. And we met you at the cafe that the hotel and the cafe and the city are part of a very famous, is it Hallmark movie that is A Christmas Card is the name of the Christmas movie. And that's kind of why Barry and I went there, but I loved hearing your stories about the women and the gold rush.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
does anybody know what happened to those women left behind?
I don't know. I'm gonna go to the historical library after this and go ask him some questions.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I think they went on to do other jobs or maybe have families at some point. That's another one of the songs I wrote. It's called Huckleberry, and it's like a proposal from a miner to a prostitute, and wanting to put some buns in the oven and go stake their claim down the creek.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, the national song, everyone really loves that one, and I think because even though it is a sad song, the lyrics are sad. There's something a little bit like just loving that they missing the hootin' and hollering,
yeah.
and everyone always smiles when I say do-si-do, so you can't do-si no more, or California, I got a bone with you to pick. You make one man rich, and all the others poorer than dirt.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Yeah, really.
it's still
Because
a little bit of a fun song, even though it's kind of sad.
yeah, really, it is. It is. And yeah, because I can't imagine really living in a tent and panning for gold every day and trying, trying to make a living or at least make enough so that you can go build a business someplace else or, I mean, oh wow, that's like the biggest gamble of all of all time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, they had that fever, that 49er fever.
Yep. Yeah, and lots of people came or went, I
Yeah,
should say, to California. Yeah.
yeah. So
Uh,
yeah, I wrote that song this last winter, um, and I was staying at the hotel and just looking out the windows
mhm,
and getting a perspective of what it would be like to be one of those ladies in the winter. It's a little too quiet. There's a little bit like less men around, and just kind of longing for a man, but then also wanting to just make some money too.
yeah, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now, how many songs have you written so far?
Altogether, I have 30 plus songs, but just about half a dozen are Gold Rush themed.
Oh, I see. So are all of your songs on your YouTube channel?
No, we are just going to be starting to record coming up soon. I have a few recordings that I did this last year, just myself.
Uh-huh.
But with my band, we're going to start recording soon. And it sounds so good with the lead guitarist and with the mandolin. And then
Hmm.
sometimes somebody will come and play harmonica or fiddle. And it's absolutely beautiful when you have all those instruments together.
Yeah, it sounded great, except that when I was listening to the radio, your radio spot, but they should have been closer to you because your voice wasn't very loud. I'm sure for the radio it was fine, but whoever was recording was kind of far away from you, and it was a song that I think I knew the song, but I think it was that song actually that you were just saying. Um, but but it was like, oh, I hope when they do their YouTube channel, it's like more like studio kind of
Yeah,
sound. So
it was just spur of the moment, and he was just excited and wanted to take a. I didn't even know he was taking a video of it.
yeah.
It was just for his family, but it's been nice to share that with people because we literally just became a band the day before we played on the radio. We had um we had a little secret show at the back of the Mine Shaft Saloon, which is a couple doors up from the cafe.
Uh-huh.
And I told everyone, I gave them a 30 minutes notice, hey, we're going to go do a show at the back of the mine shaft. And a bunch of people showed up. And after we played, the guys were like, we're a band now. And it was so awesome. I just was hoping they would play with me, but then they wanted to become a band. And I was already supposed to play on the radio the next day, but then they came with me. And
Oh, cool.
when we when we started playing the first song, I'll play for you next, but when we started playing the first song, it's called "The Ballad of Mount Silver Heels." I couldn't even do the lyrics because it sounded so good with him with the guitar and the mandolin, and I just froze up because it sounded amazing. But then we got through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you watch the video, they had to do an extra solo in the beginning because I just was like, wow, this sounds so good right now.
You were in awe of them.
Yeah, so if it's okay, I'll play you this song. It's called "The Ballad of Mount Silver Heels." And I found out about this woman from the Gold Rush in Colorado because as I share these Gold Rush songs to people, then someone will say, oh, you need to hear about this lady. And then I go research that lady, and then I do a song about her. And then someone will say, oh, you got to learn about this lady. And then I research them, and then I make a song about them. And I wouldn't have known about them if I hadn't had shared a song to a stranger, and then that stranger tells me about this other Gold Rush gal, and it's a lot of it's word of mouth stories, like this lady named Silver Heels. there's really nothing known about her. They don't even know her name. There's no Wikipedia for her. There's
Yeah.
I'm sure if I could call like the Historical Society in Colorado, they might be able to give me a little bit more information. But I just took this based off of what I could find online and based off of the story that this lady told me about her. And she said that her dad used to tell her this story when she was a little girl. And it was about a woman who came to this town called Buckskin Joe. It's near Alma, Colorado. Coach, veiled in black, so she came in mourning, and she went to work at the dance hall, and she kept her veil on for the first couple days that she was in town. And then when she went to the dance hall that night, they shot off a couple rounds in the air to silence the crowd. And it was the unveiling of the beautiful woman. And so she finally took off her veil, and she was the prettiest thing in the Rockies. And on the same year that she was there, smallpox also came to town. And she stayed and took care of the miners who had smallpox until she got it herself. And then she went to die in the mountains alone so that no one would have to see her face and no one would have to take care of her. And when the miners were so grateful for what she did, they took up a donation to give to her, and it was $5,000, which at the time was a lot of money. And they went to take it to her cabin, and she was gone. And they named this mountain area Mount Silver Heels. They called her Silver Heels because she wore silver heels. And yeah, so this is called the Ballad of Mount Silver Heels. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, this one's a little sad. How lucky was I to hear her sing in the cemetery on the hill. No sweeter song had ever been sung, and by that soiled earth in the mining camp of Buckskin Joe, in the slopes of Colorado, from a dusty coach she sang her veil, a dance hall girl in silver heels. And on a righteous night at Bill Buck's Hall, 2 gunshots silenced the crowd. And the prettiest thing the Rockies had seen removed her black laced veil. Worth more than gold was one dance with her, beneath the river and night in her bed. Then came the cold of 61. Smallpox that ravaged those men, but the dance hall girl held fast to 10 to the miners at Buckskin Joe. She sacrificed her beauty and gold, the nightingale in silver heels. Her fever came, and her head in pain, and the blisters that boiled her skin. Tears streamed down her face, now marked Her cabin deserted, her cast iron cold, her horse left to graze in the field. In a lost ghost town at Buckskin Joe, a trace was found of silver heels. Past spruce and pine, cottonwood, past aspen and juniper. No sweeter song had ever been sung than by the soiled dove. So that line about a soiled dove, that means a prostitute.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, and then she was last seen mourning over the miners that had died in the cemetery. And so that image kind of stayed in my head, and I was singing in a cemetery up in Sierra City and Downeyville, two other gold rush towns near here, and I just had this melody come through my head, and this image of this woman crying over the miners, veiled in black again, and about to like go off and die in the mountains alone. And that was the last time she was seen, was in a cemetery. So I feel like she just kind of, she just on her own reached out to me with her story and like how she wanted it to be told. And yeah, that one's a really sweet one. I kind of get lost when I play that song, because it's just thinking about like why did she stay and take care of those miners? And she could have left, but she decided to stay. And yeah, anyways,
Yeah, and
Hill.
the song is sweet because we don't think of prostitutes as caring individuals. We think of them as hard and hard-hearted, but no, she wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the heart of being a lady of the evening like that
Mm-hmm.
is actually to care and love. They
Mm-hmm.
they just do it for money.
Yeah, right.
It's just, yeah, not an easy life for sure. But from the accounts that I read, it seemed like um, she was really respected,
Mm-hmm.
for her beauty and her sweetness. And I think there must be something too, because she came to town in veiled in black. She came to town in mourning. So
Right.
and there's nothing known about where she came from or why she was in mourning. Who was she? Was she mourning a child or a lover or family
Mm-hmm.
member? Who knows? But there's probably just something there that had a little bit more respect for her because she came to town veiled in black.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she wasn't wearing flashy clothes.
Yeah, just the flashy silver heels though.
Right. Yeah, right. Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. Do you have any other things you want to talk about? Or do you want to sing another song?
We could do another song. I could do the lady that was hung in Downeyville. That one's
Oh,
got a little salt to it.
oh yeah.
Um, or I can do a sweeter one, which is called Huckleberry, about a prostitute or a miner proposing to a prostitute.
Oh
Um,
yeah. Let's do that one because yeah, my podcast is supposed to be clean.
okay, sounds good. Um, yeah. So, and then the only thing I was gonna say is coming up soon, I get to play at the Miners Picnic. And I know in this podcast, if it airs, it'll be after that, but I'm super excited about that. This is something that they've been doing at Empire Mine State Park since 1895. And they would invite the miners over to the fancy side of the yard where the mansion was. And they would get to like play croquet and have tea and a nice picnic and be able to eat in the light of day because these miners were underground 6 days a week, 10 hours a day. And so one day out of the year, they would go and have the miners' picnic. And so now it's just for the public. And me and my band get to go play in the mining yard during that day. So I'm really
Oh,
looking forward to
that'd
that
be
too.
fun. Now, when is that miners' picnic?
It's August 23rd. I think that'll be after or before
Oh,
you air this.
yeah,
Yeah.
September 10th is when I air it, but you will just have done it a little bit before before this airs.
Yeah.
So,
But it's just so sweet because I never pictured that I would get to play at the miners' picnic. And there was one day I went over to Empire Mine State Park and I had my guitar with me as I always do. And there's a blacksmith's shed out there, and they have blacksmiths
oh,
still out there, just kind of
uh-huh.
doing reenactments in a way, and they'll talk to the kids and give them some history. And but anyway, so I went up to the blacksmith. I was like, "Hey, can I play you a song?" And I played him the one about the lady who was hung in Downeyville. And the guy loved it so much. He told me to go talk to the volunteer coordinator, and so yeah, now we're all set up to go play in August. I'm so excited about that because
That is
the Gold Rush history is something I'm really passionate about. But I never pictured I would get to go play at Empire Mine, so I'm really looking forward
that's
to that and
that's
honoring the
cool.
stories of ladies. Okay, so this song's called Huckleberry, and it's about falling in love in Nevada City during the Gold Rush. Please don't be a stranger. It's just a bit of danger in this little old gold mining town. When it welcomes your 40 gentlemen may be short, and some folks that put you in the ground. Honey, I ain't lying, it's my heart that's been trying ruthlessly to steal your company. And I'm a big heathen, but that's no good reason for you not to fall in love with me. So if you haven't hold me, I'll be your one and only. We could stumble on up to the courthouse, and I think you look so pretty, nosing through Nevada City with a pair of leather boots and a wedding gown. So if you're ripe to marry, I'll be your huckleberry. We can go and stake our claim down by the creek, and we'll have a piece of heaven, put some buns in that oven, and fill up our pockets with hopes and dreams. And that was inspired by, there's a guy who lives here in town. He's a crusty old guy with blue eyes. And he's got real leathery skin. And he always says the wrong things to ladies. But he always calls me his Huckleberry. And his name's Miner Matt. He is a miner. And yeah, he always calls me his Huckleberry and says we need to run away to Reno and romance a stone and have a couple kids together. He's like 70 years old. um, but yeah, I think it's a sweet idea that like a minor proposing to a prostitute and saying just stick around for a while. You know, someone might put you in a pine box, but yeah, you should really stick around. We could go have our life together down by the creek.
Yeah, that is. It is a sweet song. I and I love huckleberries. I don't get them down here in Arizona, but yeah, when I was a kid living in the Pacific Northwest, I ate huckleberries. So, yeah.
You lived in the Pacific Northwest? What part?
Grew up in both Oregon and Washington. We moved around a lot.
Okay, okay, cool. Um, well, yeah, well, if any of your listeners want to give me some tips of some ladies to learn about, I would love to take them. I'm really trying to not to do the well-known stories, you know, like what's his name?
Molly
Oh, I can't
Brown.
think of it right. Yeah, some of the more popular names. I'm not trying to do those ones. I'm trying to find the hidden stories that
Hmm.
you don't hear about so often.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
because when we do, we do on the
so
podcast.
how do they contact you?
So I have the Instagram. If you typed in Highwater and the Kin, so Highwater is Highwater, and then Kin Kin. That means family. So I recently just changed my last name to Highwater legally, and when the guys became part of the band, they said they wanted to be called the Kin, which means family. So sweet, and so we're Highwater and the Kin. And yeah, things have just really taken off. We've really only been a band for a month, but we've already been in the Union newspaper. We've been on the radio. We're going to be on Good Day Sacramento next month in the morning, and just starting to book all those gigs and stuff, and hopefully recording very soon.
Yeah, that sounds cool. Okay, so would you, when we're finished, will you email me some social media things that I can add to the show notes? And I will highlight the Instagram one so that people can contact you there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, cool. Do you have anything else you want to share?
Um, No, no, I don't think so. I'm always still learning things and trying to take in as much information as I can. And yeah, I just want to encourage women to
Oh,
be wild and brave and bold. And yeah, just like those ladies were.
yeah, that's right. Cool. Yeah, I think it's great to always want to be learning something.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're learning it and then you're turning it into songs. I love that.
Yeah, well, and then from sharing with other people, then I learn stories, and then I get to share those stories with other people. It's just such a sweet little thing that's happening right now.
Yeah,
You're
it
right.
is. It is. That's great. Well, we'll be watching, or we'll try to watch you on the Sacramento TV show. You
Yeah.
sent me the link for that. So, yeah, that's going to be fun. You're get you're getting all kinds of exposure, and that's great.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me, and it was so nice to meet you in the first place. Um,
Yeah, it
and
was
same
fun
here.
meeting you face to face and then having you on my podcast. It's usually the other way around.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Lucinda.
Yes, thank you for taking the time to share your music with us.
Oh, thanks for listening.
I hope you not only enjoyed this episode but gained something valuable to take away with you. If you like what you heard, please share it with your friends and give us a rating and or review. If you're a story lover too, I invite you to join my Patreon community at patreon.com/storypower, all one word. Or you might be interested in classic cinema with the Sage Sisters, a YouTube channel and Facebook page I started with my sister Celeste. where we choose one classic movie that we think still has lessons for us today. As you can see, I'm passionate about spreading the love of stories and completely believe what Philip Pullman said. After nourishment, shelter, and companionship, stories are the thing we need most in the world. Until next time, this is Lucinda Sage-Midgorden. Thanks for listening.